Welcome everybody to the Video Game Archives, the podcast, and welcome to September 26, 2018. So, let's talk about video games today. Alright guys, a little quick note. I'm trying a new camera for the YouTube portion of this. So if you guys want to watch me, you can go to YouTube or listen to me on podcast. I'm on iTunes and podcast.com. Now for YouTube, in case this camera does not work out, then I guess you'll just be listening to audio. But here's hoping. Alright guys, so first up, what are we going to talk about? So PlayStation has finally decided to get into the crossplay and finally allow, at least in beta form anyways, Fortnite to have a little opportunity to play along. So, hey, that's something, at least, right? I'm happy because most of my friends who do play Fortnite play on the PS4, and that's like the only game they actually play. So at least now I get to play with them because I play more on my Switch than anything else. Mostly because it's portable. It's easy to pick up. So that's nice. It's not really that big yet. We'll find out if Sony decides to pull back on it or change their mind. Who knows? But it starts today, so check it out. I'm hoping it gets to the point where all games are cross-platform, but you never know. Sony tends to flip-flop on their decisions all the time. They've done it for the past month saying they won't do it. They're the best way to do it, and now they're like, alright, we'll do it. So, yeah. Alright, another thing that happened today, Xbox One has 2 more backwards compatible games. Neither one I'm ever played or own, I don't believe. Call of Juarez? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Bond and Blood and The Cartel. I've never played either one of those games, so I don't know. But if I find them, at least now I know I can play them on my Xbox One. Gaming news for me lately hasn't really been, there haven't been gaming news, but video game topics that have been coming up, nothing really too interesting. The one thing that I'm still pretty much into is the NES Games Online that launched with the Switch. I kind of hope that they keep releasing a good amount of games every month. Right now, the big ones I've been playing is Pro Wrestling and Legend of Zelda, and I'm planning on playing Tecmo Bowl later on today. I've never played that game, so I'm hoping for something good. I do love the feature about being able to play with people that are away. I just got to get some friends who have Switch now. Alright, apparently coming in October, we have NES Open Tournament Golf, Solomon's Key, Super Dodgeball, Twin Bee, Mighty Bomb Jack, Metroid, Ninja Gaiden, Wario's Woods, and Adventures of Lulu coming in December. Now, I haven't played really any of those games, so that'll be nice to have. I do feel like there's some type of like lag or difference in playing the game on the Switch versus playing on the real hardware. Super Mario Bros. 3 felt weird to me to play. And a little bit of the graphical glitch on the right side of the screen, I was a little distracting. It won't stop me from enjoying the game, but, you know, on a really fast-paced game, a little bit of that slowdown may, not slowdown, but lag may hinder the ability to play. Alright. So, Xbox One. I feel like today's going to be rapid fire with podcast things. A lot of the things that have popped up are just, you know, little tidbits that I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Don't really have an opinion one way or the other. It's some topics or some things that pop up, you're like, until I actually get a chance to do it, I don't know if I feel yay or nay on it. So Xbox One is going to be gaining support for a mouse and keyboard. I don't really like playing with a mouse or keyboard. That's why I don't play PC games. If I play a PC game, I hook up an Xbox controller to it just so I can play it like I'm on a console. And even then, that's far and few between. But who knows? Now that I can play it on my console, maybe it allows me to get more handle on it. I'm not really sure what type of games I would use for it. Maybe Click Adventures, if they have them on the Xbox or something like that. But yeah, I don't really have too much of an opinion about it. It's cool. I think the more controllers, the better options it is, because some games work better one way or another. So here's hoping. I'll definitely, if I have a game that works with it, I'll try it out. I don't think I'd do a first-person shooter with it, just because that's not my thing, I guess. I hear a lot of people say you gotta go keyboard and mouse, though, so maybe I should try it. Alright. Next up. Xbox is also doing a change to their avatars next month. I don't really care about the avatars. I don't really use them. I guess they don't appeal to me. I feel like I set mine up once, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, and I haven't done it in 10 years. So, I don't know. It's a new feature. I guess I kind of wish Xbox would spend their time on more important things than the way your avatar looks. But hey, I guess they must be a calling for it, maybe? Alright. Announcement for the games for Xbox. Gold are up now, so I guess let's see what we got. Hitman Blood Money for next month. Overcooked, Victor Van, and Stuntman Ignition. None of those really excite me. Yeah, none of those excite me at all. I guess I won't be really downloading any games for Xbox Game Pass. Let's hope the PlayStation one's a little bit better. I feel like most people own a PlayStation and Xbox. Well, I guess not most people, but a decent amount of gamers do. So at least hopefully here's one that has it. Alright, so for PlayStation Plus members, we're getting Friday the 13th the game. I always wanted to play this, but yeah, I don't know. I always wanted to play it, but I don't know if I'd like it. It looked interesting, but after watching a lot of reviews on it, it kind of stirred me the other way. Also, The Bridge, Evolution, Rocket Bird 2 Evolution, 2640, Read Only Memory. Yeah. Yeah, I guess next month is not the month for games. For me, anyways. Alright, so. In other news, Nintendo will let you recover cloud saves up to 6 months after your Switch subscription ends. So, that's better than just losing all that data. I mean, you should have it all backed up in your console anyways. So, I don't know. I don't see it as a big deal. I feel like I'll probably be keeping my Nintendo Switch online for the remainder of the duration of the Switch. Right now it's $20 a year. A bunch of NES games to play on my Switch. I don't see a reason to get rid of it. And if new games are always coming out, 5 new Switch games a month, or not new Switch games, but say they have 3 to 5 NES games every month coming out for the Switch with the online pass. What are you paying? $2? Not even $2 a month for the service? Yeah. So in the course of a year, I don't know, 30 to 40 NES games available to play, new ones or rehashed ones. That's worth $2 a month for me. So I don't think I'll ever be getting rid of the subscription plan. So I don't see that as a big issue for me. Maybe I forget to upgrade it, renew it after the year. So the 6th month might be like, oh, okay, I went away on vacation, forgot about it. At least now I still have it. Still excited about the PlayStation Classic and the rumors about the N64 Classic. I feel like it's surprising that Nintendo hasn't announced it even before Sony announced theirs. I think they're hoping to get... At first I was thinking that maybe for the Christmas they want to sell the rest of their stock of NES and Super NES. Because I've been going to the stores and I see them now sitting on the shelf. So I'm thinking maybe they don't want to pollute the market with another classic. And we're hoping to use this Christmas as one last, like, hoorah for the NES and Super NES and get the rest of them sold out before they introduce theirs for next Christmas. Now, maybe because of the PlayStation Classic, they want to make sure their name is still being talked about. So maybe they are going to release an N64 Classic for the winter. I still think that it might be more they want to get rid of everything they have now. So they might not. It just seems at this point it might be a little too late. I guess it's never too late, but I don't know. They could release it. I would like to see it. There's a bunch of games for it. I think I'll do a separate video on that topic. But I hope they announce something. If it comes out for December, it'll probably sell out anyways. So I guess Nintendo has to think, are the Super Nintendo and NES really going to sell out for Christmas from what they have left on the shelves? Or is it worth introducing a third console and that one being the one that sells out? I think the Super NES and the NES would still sell well, even with the N64, because it's kind of a different market. A different generation of kids, a different age group. People who grew up in the 80s, people who grew up in the early 90s, and people who grew up in the mid-90s to, right before the 2000s. So, I mean, that's a big age difference. Even at, you're a 30-year-old to a 25-year-old to a 35-year-old. So, here's hoping that we get fantastic colors, too. Alright, next up. So I thought this was a little weird when I read it. Apparently Dragon Quest said that based off of how this one sells, Dragon Quest XI, that it may affect how they localize future installments, or whether they get localized. Which is weird, because how many have to sell for them to localize the game? Is it really that hard to localize? I mean, I know nothing about programming for video games, but I can imagine that it must sell decently well, considering that if you localize it to English, you're opening up the amount of people that can play the game to way more than the people who live in Japan. So I can't see it not selling well, but apparently they must be having issues. The game looks good, and maybe with the Switch, it might help sell it because people can play it portably and as a home console. So maybe it just has to be on the right system. Maybe they're not marketing it right over here. I think the game looks great. So, I don't know. I've never played it, but I hope this doesn't affect like Dragon Quest Builder series and everything. Alright, let's take a little movie break. A couple movie things popped up today that I thought were a little interesting. So, they're making a Birds of Prey movie for 2020. I like that. I've vaguely recalled the Birds of Prey in previous series, TV shows, and stuff like that. I've never read the comic books, or if there are comic books. I'm a big fan of Harley Quinn as a character. I haven't seen Suicide Squad, so I can't really say how I like the newer Harley Quinn. But, you know, it's another take on some villains as kind of like anti-heroes, I guess. It just stinks that it seems like DC is just throwing out movies now to try to make them good or see what sticks to the wall. And yes, not all Marvel movies are great, but their overarching story and more often than not entertaining movies make it fun. Where with the DC movies, nothing seems to be working, and I don't get how they can't hire a crew that can make a great superhero movie. So I kind of wish they would take a step back real quick, and instead of just being like, oh, we're going to do this movie now, we're going to do that movie now, they just kind of, bite the bullet and be like, all right, let's start over. What do we need to do to start over, create a new, continuous world, kind of like Marvel, but with the DC characters? And just forget everything we did in the last 5 years. It's not like they're going to lose any money off of it. If anything, people would be more excited. The average person would be like, oh, it's a new superhero movie no matter what anyways. But then, your core people, your hardcore people will hear the excitement about a fresh restart and be like, maybe this is it, and bring up some movement. I have stopped watching DC movies after Superman v Batman. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'll probably watch Wonder Woman because I really like the first one. And I'll probably see Shazam. And if they can't do a good continuous movie, team-up movie, let's just do single movies and try to stop doing stories altogether and just do a great one-hit wonder. The next movie news, Devil May Cry. Oh, not Devil May Cry, sorry. Kingsman 3 has been confirmed. I really enjoy the Kingsman movies. They're just dumb fun. Great special effects. And it's enjoyable. So, I'm happy about that. Also, they plan on making I want to make sure I say this correctly, so hold on. Monster Hunter movie. That could be interesting. I like how they got the guy from Resident Evil. Capcom really must like working with him. And obviously he'd be casting his wife again. Okay. I really liked the first couple of Resident Evil movies. I stopped after the fourth one, so I'm not sure how they went on from there. Only reason why I stopped after the fourth one is because I bought it with 3D glasses, and I wanted to watch the 3D movie, and I never got around to it. So I kept saying, nope, can't watch the next one, can't watch the next one, and now I'm so far behind that I kind of give up on the series. But, yeah, I'll watch her in another movie. Monster Hunter? Why not? I'm not really sure how they're going to go about it, but, hey, it's worth checking out, right? Alrighty. Alright, and that was our movie break. I like how people keep asking about PlayStation Classic. Will it see post-launch games added to it? I think they should all try to do that. Maybe put like a little USB port inside the memory card, like a custom USB port, and then sell like add-on memory cards that have 5 new games on it for $30 or $40, and you can play them on the Classic. I think that'd be cool. Or like with the NES Classic, made it so that little door opened up and you could put custom-sized cartridges in there that could load like 4 more games on, and you just have to keep the cartridge in play. I think that would have been cool. I'm surprised they're not taking that approach yet, because then they could make more money off the Classic without having to release a second Classic edition. Like, I would not want to have to buy a second NES Classic to get another 20 or 30 Classic games. Where if they would have said, hey, we're going to release a cartridge with 5 more games on it for $10-15, alright, cool, I'm down. So I think they should think about that for future releases. Like, imagine with the N64, if you could add a cartridge to, like, the top that looked like a little N64 cartridge, boom, you can play 5 more games. Or even like the PS Classic, where that little lid could open up and you could put little mini discs that have some game data on there. I think they should do that. I don't think they're looking at the future yet for it. I guess, if you're like, hey, we're going to do the PS1 Classic, like the little slim one. They're like, alright, I guess, it's a second installment, but do I really want to have 2 PlayStation 1 mini classic consoles on my shelf? No. So I hope they come to that before more and more consoles come out. Alright, next up. So yeah, the big news this week, Tall Tales. I can't believe they're closing down. I have to say, I really like the Tall Tale games I played. The first Walking Dead. I never beat it. I played the first 3 episodes, loved it. But I guess you could say I didn't really support them because I got it from the PlayStation Plus. Same thing with Wolf Among Us. I loved playing that game. That was fun. Yet again, PlayStation Plus. But yet, it was a fun game. I told people about it. I don't know if that helped make anyone play it, but they made some good games. Back to the Future, great Telltale game. It was fun trying to see like a third, almost like a 4th movie. Highly recommend it. I wish I had the physical edition. That was a good game. I haven't played any of the other ones, but it's a shame that they're going out like that. And I'm mad that the Wolf Among Us sequel's getting taken away now. I bet there's tons of other games that people are waiting for. Maybe something happens and the property gets bought up by another team. Or, maybe a lot of the Tall Tale employees will create a new division, a new company, that they can get some of these rights from where they belong and create the sequels that they want. Or at least carry over spiritual successors to some of these games and their own versions with the same kind of recipe. I mean, it's basically just a new take on point and click. So, hey, who knows? Maybe something happens like that. All right. In other news, so Red Dead Redemption is getting a PS4 bundle. I like that. I really wanted to play Red Dead Redemption 2. I really want a PS4 Pro. And for $400, I get a PS4 Pro with the game. So, yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. And it's a physical copy. That's even better. I may really have to look into that, because that right there saves me $60 off the console, basically. I was going to buy the game anyways. That might be something I go for. I like how it's a physical copy. I don't buy special editions because I don't like having the digital edition. So, awesome. All right. So, holiday season's almost coming up. We're basically right there. And I have to say, there's not too many games that are really like sticking out to me that I'm like, oh, I'm excited for the holidays to come. These games are getting released. Smash Brothers is the only one, and even that, I'm really more hoping for a great storyline, first-person play, single-player mode. If it doesn't really have that, then I'm probably not going to be really into it. So, yeah, it's interesting. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if that's the game that's going to sell it to me. Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to this holiday season yet. Pokemon for the Let's Go Pikachu, that's okay, but even then, that game isn't like a big seller to me. I'll probably be getting it, but I'm not. It doesn't make me look forward for it to come out. I would say the only game that I'm looking forward to come out right now is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't even really like Assassin's Creed games, but I love Greek mythology. So, the fact that I could explore ancient Greek art and everything inside the game makes me really excited for the game. So, that's like the only one that's really stopping me. Alright, well, here's something new. So, Oculus had a conference, and basically the next version of their VR headset. And they're basically talking about how alright. All content that works with the Rift is going to work on their next versions, and so on. So that's good. I wouldn't want to buy a new headset and then the old games wouldn't work with it. I also hope that new games aren't strictly locked in with the newer headset. I think they need to make sure that when they upgrade headsets and change features, that all it is improving on the experience, but not preventing older headsets from playing the game, basically. I know you don't want to limit VR to the oldest headset, but at least 2 generations back should be fine. Like if the PlayStation VR 2 comes out, the features it has better not make it so that PSVR 1 can't play the game. The features should be more better resolution, better motion capture, better viewpoint, better refresh rate. Everything looks a little bit clearer. An older headset should be able to play that game with just downgraded graphics, not being like, oh, you can't play it. So here's hoping. Apparently their new headset is going to come out for $400 in the spring, and it doesn't require a PC or console to be used. That is, so it's a standalone VR, and you utilize analog sticks, triggers, and 6 degrees of motion control. Alright. And apparently it's going to have 50 games when it comes out, available for launch. And that many PC VR games and apps will be ported to the headset. So, I don't know. To me, $400 for a VR headset that is standalone is pretty nice, but how powerful is it really going to be? Am I going to be able to play like a Tomb Raider style game in VR on that? I mean, the VR headsets now need a high-end computer just to run those games to it. So, I'm a little skeptical on that. I'd have to play it to see. I mean, I guess maybe it looks like a PlayStation 4 VR unit, but I can't see it being that good as a $400 head unit. Like, why is the Rift $400 with awesome controllers and you need a $600 computer to make it look decent? Alright, so I think we're going to have a short podcast this week. I'm not seeing too much other things that I wanted to talk about. We kind of got to it. So I guess let's ramble to add a little time to this, huh? Alright. So, no, I think that will be it. Let's cut this podcast short today. Alright guys, so I guess this was a good chance to try out the video to see if it recorded correctly. Maybe I'll just actually keep going to see how long this camera actually works. and hope that everything comes out right. Alright, so let's talk about, I don't know. Alright, we're just going to end it because I don't know what else to talk about today. I've been sick over the week, so maybe that's why I'm still foggy. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hopefully the video's coming out correctly and I can upload the podcast today. I will upload the podcast to iTunes and podcast.com definitely today, but the video may take longer if it doesn't come out right. Alright, so for YouTube fans, don't forget to hit the bell, share, and like this video. And for the podcast listeners, go check out my video game channel at the Video Game Archives. Yeah. And have fun gaming, enjoying your night, and I'll see you next time.